I think for me, the joys of engineering is that the results are so tangible. And when you see exactly what you've been working on and you've seen it go from the initial concept design to its physical complete form, it's really exciting. Being the odd one out in the dissertations because everyone's writing about concrete and structures and I'm writing about decolonising the curriculum. The response to that was just, as you can imagine, not great. I'm used to it at this point, but I also don't think it's something that people should have to grow used to. I think it's really important to share with other people because that's the only way that you can make informed decisions is with the most information and knowledge. So for me, it's just about taking whatever little knowledge that I have, and if that helps someone else to make an informed decision or avoid certain mistakes, and I think I'm just really only doing what's been done for me.
Hi and welcome to the Engineering Talent Podcast powered by Equal Engineers, where we celebrate the people and organisations shaping a safer and more inclusive engineering world. Each episode, we shine a light on the inspiring engineers and employers who are redefining what it means to build, lead and innovate. Because when we make safety and inclusion inseparable, we can unlock the true potential of engineering talent. This is the Engineering Talent Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Engineering Talent Podcast, powered by Equal Engineers. I am still your host, Fayon Dixon. It's great to be here. So I'm going to say concrete by day, capital markets by summer. Meet Blossom Olisemeke, final year civil engineer, JP Morgan alum, and living proof that engineers refuse to be boxed in. She builds bridges, she built financial products, and now she's building a path for the women coming up behind her. Welcome, Blossom, to the podcast. It's great to have you here.
Hi, Fayon. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
It's wonderful. Now, this is our official first time meeting, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Because you have a cheerleader of your own. Her name is Destiny, and it's your sister. And I met Destiny at the Big Bang Fair earlier on this year. And I was saying, Destiny, it's great to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And I was saying, one day you should be on my talent podcast. She was like, you need to speak to my sister Blossom. Are you too tight? Do you have a tight relationship?
Yeah, I really get along with my sister. She is my best friend. So I'm not surprised that she recommended you to me because I would probably do the same if I was in her position, recommend her.
Oh, that is gorgeous. How many years are between you?
Three, three give or take sometimes, depending on the birthdays. We're both born in April, but
Oh,
she's
wow.
born right at the start and I'm right at the end of April.
Got ya. So, okay, so that would make her maybe she's the beginning of April. So she is very much an Aries, yeah?
Yes,
And
yes.
you are a Taurus.
Yes, yes, yes.
I know my star signs. I
And what are
digress.
you?
I'm a Cancerian. I just had a birthday. So I am very much a Cancerian, born on July the 2nd, right in the middle of the year, the calendar year. So let us get down to it. It is just wonderful to meet so many women who are working in engineering. And, you have finished your MEng in civil engineering, but you did a summer in the finance area at JP Morgan. I just wanted to find out what pulled you towards engineering and what made you brave enough to explore something completely different.
I think for me, I originally wanted to do chemical engineering. What drew me towards that? I think the job prospects when it comes to engineering and the job security. However, throughout my time in A-level chemistry, I realized I didn't want to take that any further. So it was about how do I stay in the engineering field, but maybe dip away from chemistry a little bit? At the time, I was really into interior design and house tours. I watched a lot of luxury house tours and real estate. So civil engineering was something that really spoke to me at the time. And it's been kind of that aspect of engineering that I've been really intrigued when I'm going throughout my degree.
Wow, okay. So you're watching these shows, and I don't watch them so much, but my youngest stepdaughter was watching them far too much, I would say. And I thought she was going to go into property. I really did. But who knows, she might do. But on that was like cementing, excuse the pun, cementing that, right, this is the area I'm going into. And when you were studying at school, did you have teachers that were, or even when you were doing university as well, who kind of helped push you in certain directions, or were you like, "No, kind of cool, I know which way to go."
I think I had a careers advisor, but that was kind of, I had to make an appointment for that, and I was speaking to her about the difference between chemical and civil.
Mm.
But in turn, beyond that, not really. I think the main thing for my school was just people going to university. They weren't really that fussed about what you did. Given the area that I grew up in, going to university in itself was just a massive feat. So I don't think they were that um, concerned with what course you did, just as long as you continued pursuing education.
Okay, but I need to know, where is it that you were brought up?
So, Sheldon, Birmingham.
Yes, yes. I'm from Coventry originally and left Coventry when I was 20, but I got a lot of family over Birmingham way, but not in Sheldon. But yeah, so already then, are you saying people were kind of putting you in a bit of a box of not sure where this is going to go for you, just as long as you keep coming, keep coming into
Yeah,
school, into study, that ticks major boxes for us. I mean, how
I
does that,
think that was the
yeah,
main priority, just keeping people in school.
wow. How did that make you feel?
I think for me, it was what I wanted to do anyways, so it was just more of support rather than pressure. But I know for other people, naturally, university is not the path for everyone, so some people didn't enjoy that pressure.
Mm, okay. Oh, it's tough. It's tough, but it was so good that you were focused. And I mean, you've gone in your short term, you're still so very young. You're still at the start of your career, really. But you mean you've worked on an actual bridge deck at construction area and
Yes.
built, yeah, and you've helped standardize financial products at JP Morgan. I mean, what's the moment from your project that made you think this is exactly why I do this?
I think for me, the joys of engineering is that the results are so tangible. And when you see exactly what you've been working on and you've seen it go from the initial concept design to its physical complete form, it's really exciting. I think for me, construction area was so incredible. It's probably one of my favorite experiences at uni. And working on that bridge for a week. And you come in, and when you first come in, it's this empty plot of land. And by the end of the week, there's 20 of you stood on this bridge that you all built. It's fantastic.
If I hear something I like, I got to give it a little shake, Blossom. From nothing. And then you're standing on it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
bonkers. I used to do when I went into schools. I used to do this like team building exercise and gave them a piece of paper, and I don't think there was anything else. No, it was just like a few pieces of paper, and they had to build a bridge. And at the end of the day,
Yes.
I literally had to be able to walk my fingers across this bridge or put pennies on it without it collapsing. And the constructions that people would come up with, the most elaborate ones, the most glamorous ones, and then the ones that were just so incredibly simple, and you could literally put your hand on it and they weren't moving. This is you. You're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why, in the end, I decided to stay in the engineering sector over the financial sector because you just can't top that feeling of a tangible, real, lasting result.
Yeah, yeah. Now I know that you've done minor tasks as well as something, really tangible. Tell us, what lessons do you learn from the unglamorous side of engineering that nobody warns you about?
I think it's all the little coordinating tasks and the small parts that go on behind the scenes to allow you to actually physically start building. So whether that's ordering permits or ordering concrete or the health and safety regulations and the coordinating with local government or the public as well. There's
Mm,
so many little tasks that allow a project to run smoothly. And I think it's all under the bracket of, I would say, project management, which is what I'm looking to go into in my grad job. And it's the role of a project manager to make sure that all these little teams coordinate um, as smoothly as possible for the bigger, more tangible results that you see to actually happen.
yeah, sure, sure. Project manager's huge. It's a huge task. But you've gone through university societies and mentoring schemes and multiple internships as well. So you've kind of had that hands-on experience, and
Yeah.
from the sounds of it, you really, really enjoyed it. And where do you think support for girls and young women going into engineering is still falling short? Because we are still saying there are not enough women. There's just aren't.
I think it's on site. On site working is just catered towards very specific demographics as it has been traditionally. And I think there is a culture on site that slightly alienates women. Just things down to the PPE just not fitting properly at
Oh,
all. Simple things like that.
honestly, still to this day, it's bonkers. It's
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. It's really discouraging for a lot of women. And kind of site conditions, site facilities, just not really having women in mind at all.
and yet because we do so much work at Equal Engineers to try and level the playing field and working with organizations who really want to welcome everyone. We're not just talking about women, we're talking about those of color, LGBTQ plus IA, those with disability, neurodiversity. But there's a lot of companies out there that saying, yeah, come, we want you all, we want a diverse community. And then people get there and they either don't see anyone like them there, or nothing is there to accommodate them, and then they leave. So
Yes.
retention is huge. So you might be going for the, oh, look at their website, look at their advert, everybody's there, and then you get there and it's like, nothing doesn't go that way. I mean, are you ready for this? You're going to cope with
I
this?
think I think I've had a lot of experience already doing an engineering degree, kind of just being the odd one out. Even with my dissertation that I did, the response to that being the odd one out in the dissertations because everyone's writing about concrete and structures and I'm writing about decolonising the curriculum. And the response to that was just, as you can imagine, not great. So I think I'm used to it at this point, but I also don't think it's something that people should have to grow used to.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, we all have setbacks, and it just seems that some of us, especially when I'm speaking to women, especially women of color, all colors, they're just fighting all the time to have their voices heard, make sure they show up in a room, not wanting just to be the only one in the room as well. And I mean, even though, like, with your internship and your applications and even a project where things did not go your way, how did you get back on equal footing?
I think for me, it's just knowing what my end goal is and knowing that that's what I want to do. And some of these setbacks were expected anyways. So I've already mentally prepared for that and I'm ready to do what I need to do and what I want to do, because I'm the only person that has to live with that.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's very hard as well. And I don't know when you were growing up and went to school, especially when I went back in school, not so much when I was growing up, but when I went back and did mentoring and motivational workshops and things like that in schools, girls were always the ones who found it hard to speak up or just
Yeah,
go for something without the criticism. They were fearing criticism. And
yeah,
so if you are grounded in yourself, like you sound like you are, you're just going to go, you know what? I'm the only person living with this, like you just said. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to live with the decisions that I make. So I do what I want to an extent, obviously, but I do what I know is right. And I can't really be talked out of that.
Taurus, the bull. My husband is a Taurian, and I have many friends who are Taurian. And like when they set their feet down, this is happening. And it's like, okay, I ain't gonna
Yeah,
stand in your way. Talk about the move from Birmingham to London for the JP Morgan
yes.
internship. You know, I moved from Coventry to London. My mum thought I'd only go for a month or two, and I ended up being there for 35 years. But
Wow.
you were there doing your internship, and you work across teams in the USA, Australia, India. What surprised you most about adapting to that sort of pace and scale?
I think it's how accommodating people were. I think you hear horror stories about being in finance and how intense and nerve-wracking it is. And it definitely has aspects of that, but actually everyone just kind of wants to get the job done and everyone wants to work. So especially when you're navigating global teams, the time zones are a major thing. So
Yeah,
you're kind of working around that. But we had people in the India office who were saying till 10 p.m. and making those kind of compromises, which, it's not great, but I don't think it was enforced on them. I think it's that acknowledgement and recognition that we just want to get this done. So if one day in the month I have to stay till 10 p.m. to have this meeting to make sure that you can do this tomorrow so we can do this the next day, it works. And we had people in the London office coming in 6 or 7 a.m. to also compromise with the time zones. So I think that was a big thing. I think moving to London in general, because I was obviously born in Birmingham and then went to uni in Birmingham. So this was my first time moving away. And I went to one of the greatest cities in the world. I still think Birmingham is the greatest city in the world. So I guess London can have two or three. But it was incredible. Summer in London is incomparable to many other places. So that was so wonderful.
good, good. I'm glad you had a good experience in London. It's an incredible city. But yeah, there are amazing cities all through the UK, and Birmingham is one of them. I totally agree with you on that. We spoke earlier about your sister, Destiny. You know,
Yes.
you two were tight and you would, encourage each other. Do you have any other people in your sort of gang, when the wheels fall off, apart from Destiny? Is there anybody else that you go to or anybody else who's helped you sort of shape your path?
I think in my course, I had two other girls that I basically have done the entire degree with. My friends Maddie and Izzy have been, I mean, I would consider this a shared degree with them. They've been like massive, massive helps to me. And we have formed a little trio, BIM, which is either like the BIM caves or Blossom Maddie Izzy, whichever one you want to call it. So they have been like massive supports in my degree. In my final year, my supervisor, Dr. Emma Ferranti, like I said, there were some issues in terms of reception to my project, but she was always a massive, massive supporter of me and my work and my projects.
Isn't that wonderful? You don't forget these people as long as you live. You might not see them again after a while, but when you're recanting stories 10, 15 years from now, I still remember the teachers, Mrs. Abel White, Mrs. Young, um, my favorite English teacher, just they're imprinted in you, and they're part of your journey, and they make up who you are. So I'm so glad that you've had those people in your life. I hope they stay in your life, but you never know. You've done so much in such a short period of time, and from mentoring students, running employability sessions with Young Enterprise UK, and you've also led sessions for aspiring professionals. Why has mentoring become such a consistent thread in your story?
I think for me, because I'm the oldest in my family in terms of siblings, so I was the first to go to uni in kind of this generation. My parents have been to uni, but in this generation. So all information or knowledge that I have had has come from a mentor or someone sharing it with me. And I think it's really important to share with other people because that's the only way that you can make informed decisions is with the most information and knowledge. So for me, it's just about taking whatever little knowledge that I have, and if that helps someone else to make an informed decision or avoid certain mistakes. And I think I'm just really only doing what's been done for me.
Yeah. And, this is how the world used to be before technology and before any form of, even like TV or radio. People used to speak and
Yeah,
share and sit around and, just communicate. And that's how information was passed along. I mean, everything that we have from the past, people had to speak it and thank goodness write it down or document it somewhere. And that's how we've been able to learn about history and science and all sorts of things. But if everybody just kind of went, well, I've learned that, kept that to myself,
yeah,
other people would, I'm sure, think of it. But we have to keep communicating. So keep that up, because that is the strongest way to embed knowledge and also feel good about making
yeah,
sure that you keep it going. Yeah.
yeah.
You've spoken about hearing Michelle Walker, I saw on your feed on LinkedIn, and you heard her talk about Black women in corporate spaces, and you're also involved in the 10,000 Black interns. So what did that moment teach you about visibility in engineering and finance?
I think that it's not going to be given to you and that you have to come in and take it. No one's going to wait for you to walk in. It's one of those things that you have to be very proactive about.
Yeah, so a lot of people just kind of thinking it's going to drop in their lap. Knock,
Yeah,
knock. I'm here to offer you your dream job and opportunity. No, you better get out there and start working it. Networking, seeing speakers. And did you follow up at all? Did you get in touch afterwards or anything like that? Or meet other people that were also inspired?
yeah. So there was a group chat with a lot of the people that have attended the session that we still speak. Some people still speak on there till now. So especially when it got to dissertation time, asking people, can you do this form or can you share my dissertation? And just kind of keeping that network of allies around you. That I
Yeah,
think that's the most valuable thing that you get from sessions like that.
that's really, really good. And it's like, just no, ego, drop it down. We don't, ego stays out the room right now. I need
Yeah,
to progress and get things done. And so
yeah,
whatever I think, and it's good that we all are independent, we think about ourselves, presenting and coming through really well. But we've got to have a little bit of vulnerability to allow people to come in and tell us, actually, how about trying it this way? Or have you thought of
yeah.
this? Or, how do you cope with maybe not hearing what you want to hear?
I think that's probably one of the hardest things, especially when you transition from kind of studying to corporate because you put everything into it. Hopefully you'll get an A, you'll get the first, you'll get 80%. But with corporate and with working, it is so new, especially with internships. You are just going to do it wrong and you are going to, I think that's the time where I've heard the most. It was like, Actually, this isn't great. And I think for me, one of the things that my manager said at JP Morgan is there's no such thing as good or bad feedback. It's all just feedback, and you just take what you can and apply what you need. And you still have to have a certain level of discernment to know, is this really relatable to me? But in the sense of never taking it personally.
Mm. That is spot on. It's spot on. As old as I am, I'm still learning, and that's it. Don't ever take anything personally. It's feedback. It's up to you what you do with it next. We're coming towards the end of our podcast. It was getting on. But I'm wondering, because you're so incredibly focused, and I love that. What about the chill time? What does Blossom do purely for fun? How do you recharge?
I love to spend time with my friends. That's it for me. Spending time with my friends. We're usually going out to eat. I love to travel. I've just come back from a couple weeks in Sri Lanka and then Turkey and then Paris. So that was like a super long trip. But I think spending time with people and recharging is the best way.
Ah, that is what is good for you, and you do it. It sounds like with style. Good for you. On another time, we'll ask more about how all of those trips were. I can
Yeah.
see that was probably like lit.
Incredible time, the best time.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. That's really, really great. We are coming towards the end of our podcast now, but I don't like people to go away without maybe a little quiz question or a little something to get us, get the old noggin going. So,
Okay.
do you mind if I ask you a little question?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. And I mean, it ties in actually to your PWC EDI program and the Michelle Walker mention as well. So, according to industry data, women make up roughly what percentage of the UK engineering workforce today? And we're talking about in the UK, yeah? So, is it A, 28%, B, 16.5%, C, 42%, or D, 8%?
I want to go between 28 and 16.5.
Okay.
However,
I'm going to put the clock on
what
you.
am I going to do? I'll be hopeful and I'll go with 28.
Right. 28%, you're hopeful. Are you locking that in?
I think so.
Funny thing about the gut, it was actually 16.5%.
Oh no.
Don't worry about it. I mean,
We're
I
working
mean,
on it.
it's a striking number.
Yeah.
Women still remain a small minority in the engineering world, despite growing awareness campaigns. So, all the work that you're doing to open the door, leaving it open for others, speaking from your lived experience about representation, coming with the Black interns scheme, why do role models make a difference in your life, etc., etc. Keep that going so that the next time you and I have a conversation we can say 28%, but yeah, still
Yeah.
16.5. We've got a lot
We
of
have to
work to
keep
do.
pushing.
Gotta
Yeah.
keep pushing. Yeah, gotta keep pushing and letting young women know whatever their interests are, there is engineering out there for you. You can have a
Yeah.
great career, you can travel, you can meet great people from all over the place.
Yeah.
But we just got to keep letting them know that your interests and your passions are needed in engineering, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Blossom, it has been an absolute privilege to actually meet you. And thank you for saying yes, because we'd never met. But you trust your sister Destiny, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you knew it would be good. Okay, thank you so much. And we will keep in touch. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time with you. Thank you.
Likewise, thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Engineering Talent Podcast, powered by Equal Engineers. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, follow and share it with others who also want to build a safer and more inclusive future for engineering. To learn more about the Equal Engineers Talent Awards, discover more inspiring stories, or explore how Equal Engineers is helping organisations make safety and inclusion inseparable, visit equalengineers.com. I'm Fayon Dixon, and until the next time, keep celebrating talent, keep telling your story, and keep engineering change.